Xcaret, Mexico is a beautiful place where you'll never be hungry or bored, and your kids will continually express gratitude and exhibit good behavior. But despite the Eden-like atmosphere, we encountered a handful of frustrations during our trip that a prospective Xcareter should be aware of. Our first mistake, booking 2 rooms. The only family suites available when we booked were garden view suites, but I really wanted one of those swim-up rooms. So I thought it was a genius move to instead get 2 rooms, one swim-up that sleeps 2, and one garden view that sleeps 2. It was a little more expensive than a family suite, but nobody would have to sleep on a pullout, and we could accommodate everyone's individual sleep habits. Plus, the grown-ups could sleep in the swim-up room, and the kids could have the cheapo garden view suite. Suckers. Unfortunately, the staff at the front desk seemed confounded by this arrangement. It took 4 trips to the front desk to finally arrange it so that all of our bracelets unlocked both doors. But the real unexpected downside is that the photo packages are purchased for a particular room. To get all of our photos, we'd have to buy 2 two-person photo packages, which is a lot more expensive than one 4-person photo package. It just made everything more complicated instead of easier. And the whole genius part of my scheme, where we'd snag a swim-up room even though no swim-up rooms were available, turned out to be totally unnecessary due to mistake number 2. Our second mistake, thinking that there are bad rooms at Xcaret. Look at this place. Where are you going to put the unappealing rooms? The kids' garden view suite was fantastic. It was bigger than our swim-up suite and had a little path leading right to the pool. And, as they soon discovered, the ice cream lady. And while I did enjoy the novelty of being inches away from the water, we were right across from a main thoroughfare, and literally everybody who walks by looks at you dipping your toesies in the water. I'm not saying that you shouldn't get a swim-up suite, just don't feel bad if availability or your budget precludes it. Most likely, you'll be steps away from one of the many pools, or you'll have a view of the beach or these monkeys. Our third mistake, treating Xcaret like a land cruise. Our vacation of choice tends to be Disney cruises, so our kids were a little taken aback when they tried to walk into the buffet and grab something quick to go. The buffet is a seated affair with a waiter who brings your drinks. And while you can take food out, you won't see people wandering around with plates of food like they do on a cruise ship. There are small snacks to be found around the property and in your room, and room service is also included, but generally speaking, dining at Xcaret is more intentional. Our fourth mistake, only packing 3 bathing suits per person. I figured one suit will be drying while the second suit is in use. If you need 2 suits on the same day, that's what suit number 3 is for. This pre-Xcaret thinking is so adorable in retrospect. Everything at Xcaret requires swimwear. You'll be ziplining into cenotes, going down water slides, rappelling into water, wading down rivers, and swimming to the bar to get your third pina colada. And that's all before lunch. Bring all the bathing suits you have. It's humid as soup there, so it'll take your suits forever to dry. And after they've been through the mud attraction at Senses, you won't want to wear them again anyway. Which actually reminds me, our 5th mistake, not doing prohibition-style bathtub laundry sooner. In a genius move reminiscent of booking 2 rooms, we brought these easy-to-pack detergent sheets and figured that, in an emergency, we could do laundry in the bathtub, because we sure as heck weren't paying for Xcaret to do our laundry. But we didn't actually attempt bathtub laundry until our penultimate day at Xcaret, because we kept thinking we could get by without it. But when the smell of stale cenote on our trunks got a little too zesty, we finally bit the bullet and threw everything into the tub. And it worked great. We also brought one of these portable clotheslines. They might not be allowed though. We got some message on our phone that we think said not to leave clothes outside, but we couldn't really understand it and accidentally deleted it. Our 6th mistake, the slide at Senses. There's so much overlap in activities that you shouldn't ever feel bad about missing something. The water slide at Senses is fine, but nothing special. The line for the slide at Senses, however, was remarkable in its length and tendency not to move. What we didn't know was that the activities in that area just follow one after another. You go right from the slide to the bird flight, to the water float thing, to the mud float thing, etc. And there's an easy way to bypass anything that you don't want to do. After waiting 45 minutes for the slide, nothing else had a line. Skip the slide. Our 7th mistake, packing poorly for the parks. We figured out by the end that every park is meant to be enjoyed primarily in swimwear and water shoes. Pack a change of clothes and sneakers if your feet get tired, but otherwise assume you'll be in your swim stuff all day. Also, carefully consider how you would feel about renting a towel versus bringing one with you. Even more importantly, the rules on what you can take on the actual attractions varies quite a bit. On the Xcaret Park River, you can bring whatever you want. On a water slide, don't expect that you can covertly sneak a cell phone in a waterproof pouch with you. Guidelines on action cameras seems to be inconsistent. Expect to either put everything in your locker or to make multiple trips to your locker. Our 8th mistake, using the honey-scented soap and shampoo. On day 1, you'll wonder why you brought your own shampoo when their shampoo smells like sweet, wonderful honey. By day 3, you'll feel like Winnie the Pooh threw up all over you. The honey scent becomes cloying and triggering. Throw a shampoo bar in your carry-on and spare yourself the 100-acre wood aroma. And now, as a bonus, here's my favorite thing we did right at Xcaret. Our best decision? Not adventuring too hard. We realized early in our planning that there were more activities at the Xcaret parks than we could possibly do in a week. Heck, there's probably more activities at the hotel than we could do in a week. But there's also a lot of overlap. We chose our activities and downtime wisely. For us, cenotes was the highlight, and also checked the zipline box, so we didn't feel too bad that we skipped the epic ziplines at Explore. And we timed things so that we had a few half-day adventures with ample downtime at the hotel in between. It would be tempting to do a Disney-style, all day, every day, in the parks, riding every ride kind of thing, but that wasn't the type of vacation we had in mind. Good for us. Oh, and we also saved $1,000 by booking through Costco. Genius move.